Welcome, fellow baked goods. I'm Mr. McScruff Muffin. Yeah, I hear muffins are in vogue right now, and today I'm thinking about envy. This is a part of a series on the 7 deadly sins that we're doing here, so if you'd like to take a step back and look at some other videos on the topic, here's a link since you've been so good this year. Alright, so here we have envy, is what we're talking about today. Now, envy has a lot of subtext to it in modern speech, but when we're talking about the capital vice of envy, what we're talking about is not just, oh, hey, I'm envious of you because you have this new thing. Oh, hey. It means sadness or resentment at another person's good. So this can mean any type of good. Maybe somebody got a pretty swanky new car or cellular device, or maybe they got a promotion. Maybe they seem holier than you, or they got the girl of their dreams, or whatever. Now, it becomes envy when we see this kind of situation and feel sad or angry, resentful or hurt that they have the particular thing, because we perceive it as an injury to ourselves that they have this good. All right, so that's a complex emotion. Let's break it down a little bit into how it can manifest itself. There's a variety of ways, but envy always sees the good of another person as a detriment to or something that takes away from the happiness of the envious person in some way. I think that's an important point, and it's very key to understanding what's going on behind the curtain when we feel that sort of envy. Now, we're not talking simply about wanting something that somebody else has. After all, it may be a very good thing to desire what somebody has. If you have a friend who's in great shape, it's a good thing to want to be healthy. And you can use that success as an inspiration so that you go hit the gym or you go on that diet, you kick the habit of smoking or whatever it is. Now, it becomes envious and evil when we see another person's good health and judge that it harms us in some way. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, oh man, look at how good they look. I bet they get all the fellas. I need to have that kind of body. Or, oh, look at that new car that they have. It turns the heads of everybody in the office. I need that so that they can look at me that way too. So envy, in a very real way, puts up walls between ourselves and others. Now, its root is pride, as are all sins, but it takes the pride in a direction that's not just straight egoism. We see some good and wrongly desire it for ourselves because, implicit in someone else's possession of the good, we believe that we are somehow harmed. Now, even in those times when somebody shares a great celebration, a friend announces that they're getting married, or maybe they're having a baby, or something like that, and we feel that we can't quite be happy due to some ill notion that they get all the nice things or whatever the case may be, that's a small flare-up of envy. All right, so how do we combat that? Now, envy's contrary virtue is the lively virtue of kindness or gratitude. Now, I think that Aristotle has a particularly poignant definition of kindness in rhetoric. That's one of his works, Rhetoric. He argues that kindness is, quote, helpfulness towards someone in need, not in return for anything, nor for the advantage of the helper himself, but for that of the person helped, end quote. Now, this is key to combating envy in our own lives. We need to keep in mind and act in ways that don't necessarily always benefit ourselves, but help build up others. Envy is a vice that pulls apart because they have something nice that, at least as far as we believe, limits the happiness that we can have. Now, by practicing this kindness, we deliberately go out of our way to reject that idea. I mean, we're acting in a way that gives us something, even if it's small, for the benefit of someone else who may not necessarily be able to repay us. We act out of an intention not of taking or of receiving, but of giving. Purely giving, knowing that we may not be materially benefited by the exchange, we might actually be materially worse off, but that we've given the other person something that will build them up, that will strengthen them. All right, so what are the ways that we can act out gratitude and kindness? What are some practical ways? Well, we could start by going back to the basics. When we're at a restaurant, just try to call servers, waitresses, waiters, busboys, whoever they are. Try to call them by name when you can. It shows them that you care about them as people, that they're not just food dispensers to you, but that they're real human servers. It can be something as simple as saying please or thank you, and in a way that shows that you really mean it. I think these are all simple things, but they're things that are often forgotten for one reason or another in today's culture. I think what you could also do is write a letter to someone who's changed your life for the better and thank them for what they've done. It doesn't have to be big or anything like that, some 5-page letter or something, just a quick thank you note. Maybe you make an anonymous donation or gift to a worthy person or a worthy cause. All of these help us build up neighbors and help us to foster an attitude in our hearts that looks not at what they have or what we receive, but rather of what we can give and build up other people. So today, pick out a way that you can be kind. It doesn't need to be huge or earth-shattering. It just needs to be real. Do it, and try to cultivate that into a plan of life that changes your heart to be more kind, less envious, more holy. St. Francis of Assisi, pray for us that we might not look at what others have, but rather as what we can give, and then give it. Thanks for listening.